It was the 7th night of Hanukkah 2 years ago, 5784, December 13th, 2023. Normally one of the most joyous days on the Jewish calendar, when a knock on the door brought the news that changed Hadass Lowenstern's life forever. Her husband of 13 years, Elisha, the love of her life, had fallen in battle in Gaza. Elisha was there on a mission to rescue wounded soldiers when he was killed by a Hamas-fired anti-tank missile. He left behind his widow Hadass and 6 children, the youngest just 11 months old, the oldest preparing for his bar mitzvah. Hadass shared that Elisha told her before he went to war, "If something happens to me, please get married as fast as possible." In frustration and jest, she asked him, "Elisha, you mean I open the window and just choose the next man walking by?" Elisha responded, "Hadass, please, as fast as possible." Since his murder, Hadass has become a symbol of strength and resilience for her entire nation. Resolve, love, and faith. "We plan on living such a wonderful life," she once said, "that the bad guys will never merit to live." A little less than a year after her husband Elisha was killed, a man living in the same apartment building in their town, Harish, suffered a tragic loss. Chagit Reichert, a mother of 4, passed away 10 days after giving birth to her 4th daughter. Chagit, 37, was in an advanced stage of pregnancy when her condition deteriorated. The doctors were forced to deliver her baby via C-section. And 10 days after that, she passed away, leaving over her husband, Hod, and 4 girls. Hadass Lowenstern went downstairs to pay a shiva call to her neighbor. She sat down in the women's section and began talking to the oldest daughter who just lost her mother. "I fell in love with her right away," Hadass recalled. "And I thought to myself, this girl would be an amazing match for my oldest boy when they both get older." Classic Jewish style in the middle of Shiva. She's already made a shidduch in her mind between this girl, Hallel, and her son, Eitan, who are both bar mitzvah age. Of course, she didn't know that God had a different match in mind. As Hadass was walking out of the Shiva home, she turned to the grieving father and husband, Hod, and she just said to him, "I want you to know that this girl of yours, the oldest, is going to be just fine." And Hod looked at Hadass, and he put both hands on his heart in an expression of such gratitude. It was obvious to her how worried he was about this particular girl and how comforting it was for him to hear that she's going to be okay. A few months later, a woman phones Hadass and says there is another woman who wants to date the widower in her building, Hod. Can Hadass ask him if he's interested? So she texted her neighbor Hod, and he said no, he's not ready yet to date. Then he asked her if she was dating, and Hadass said yes. So he wished her success in her efforts, and he said, "May it go well, b'li pkakim, without blockages." She wished him well and moved on. Some time passes. A woman calls Hadass and asks if she might be interested in dating her neighbor, Hod. She apologizes for calling and she says, "Listen, I tried to dissuade him, but he's driving me meshuggah all day and all night, so I'm calling you." Hadass says, "I already asked him. He said he wasn't interested." The woman responds, "What he meant was that he's not interested in dating other women. He wants you." Hadass's heart melted. She texted him that night. A few months later, in the summer, they got engaged. And just a few days before last Rosh Hashanah, September 16th, 2025, they stood under a chuppah and they got married. The MC at the chuppah was Hadass's oldest son. "A son usually does not speak at the wedding of his mother," he began. "But God had a different dream for my family, and I will follow it with an open heart." At this chuppah, the boy said, "We have 2 people present, not physically, but spiritually. Chagit, Hod's first wife, and my father Elisha, my mother's first husband. They are here celebrating spiritually." The boy went on to say, under the chuppah of his mom, "The prophet Haggai predicts, Gadol yeh kvod habayis hazeh achara min harishon amar Adonai tzvaos. The glory of the last home shall be greater than the first one," God says. In Hebrew, The verse can be explained in two ways. One is, the last home shall be greater than the first home. But you can also read it differently. The last home shall be greater min harishon, from and because of the first home. It's the first home that will make the last home great. This new home of my mother and Hod is not going to replace their first home. Its greatness and glory is going to blossom from our first home, min habayis harishon.
יחד איתנו הערב נמצאים פה גם שני אנשים אשר אינם נדמנו פה היום. חגית, אשתו האהובה של הוד, ואימא של הלל, לחן, גיל וקליל. ואבא אלישע, בעלה האהוב של אימא, ואבא שלי, של בניה, מיכל, עסקה, עמיחי ורות. בברכה רביעית מכובד, סבא, הרב צבי לוינשטרן, אבא של אבא אלישע.
הנחת אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר יצר את האדם בצלמו, יברך אתה אדוני יוצר הכאב.
אנחנו מתפללים וככה אנחנו מקווים שמהמקום של הבניין האישי שלכם יבוא בניין גדול לכל עם ישראל. אתם סוללי הדרך.
The boy nailed the secret of Hanukkah and of Jewish history. Hadass cried at her chuppah. She felt the pain. She lost the father of her 6 children. She knew that blending 2 families, making up 10 children together, is not easy. The pain is deep. We don't need to shut down our emotions. On the contrary, we allow our pain, vulnerability, and authenticity to catapult our hearts into surrender, faith, trust, love, and ultimately bliss. Mazel tov, Hadass and Hod. Mazel tov to the countless heroes of our generation, teaching us all how to find light in our challenges. Hadass told a reporter who asked her about all of this, I do not want to die, I want to live, and to live means to love and to allow myself to feel loved. Happy Hanukkah.